Good morning, glue troopers. Well, I'm running into a little bit of a problem with my computer. It is bogged down and going so slow it's making it difficult and taking a ridiculous amount of time to edit videos. It's working in every other regard, so it's something to do with the program, and I've tried doing the online tutorials and uninstalling and reinstalling. I don't know what the problem is. So anyway, I'll keep working on it. But today, another beautiful day in Florida. I'm hoping to just get some work done and get hopefully a little something out this evening. But of course, as you guys know, today's the last day for content for a few days till I get back from my trip. I am interested to get work on these little wagons. In fact, since they're sitting here, I'm a little curious just how tiny a 1 to 90 scale is. I mean, I know, but, and of course I have nothing to, okay, come on, you can do this, Max. There we go. Princess is sitting right here, but she doesn't feel like appearing on the camera at the moment. That's an odd scale to pick, 1 to 90. I wonder what made them choose that. Oop. Well, there's the instruction sheet. Well, I don't know. It's not too terribly small. That'll look kind of cool. I mean, you know, it's got a 2-piece diorama base, so because there's 2 wagons, of course. I don't know. I think those will be okay. Now there's some parts rattling loose, so don't dare take it out of the plastic. There's a bit of flash on there. Oh well, I guess that's no shock. And apparently, as tiny as they are, you have to glue the horns on the oxen. Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun with these fingers. Okay, that just prompted the question today. What is the teeny tiniest, most fiddly part you ever had to put on a model? And I know that's a target-rich environment. Oh my gosh. I can actually remember a couple of times when some little teeny tiny fiddly part of a cockpit down by the rudder pedals or something was supposed to go in. I'm like, is anybody even going to see this? You know you fed the carpet monster on purpose on rare occasion. So, anywho, it still amazes me that when they engineer these things, that they can somewhere. I mean, of course, today it's different, you know, but because of modern techniques. Back in the day, probably somebody with a set of hand tools had to follow an engineering drawing and etch that out and in steel or beryllium copper. Man, those guys were masters. And I guess back when they were selling millions of the things, it made sense. But now, I understand a lot of production runs at some model companies as little as 3,000 kits. And after all that, you don't know if a model's going to sell. You know, we're with all that trouble with the sports heroes or sports legends, and they've kind of fizzled. So, but then the Monster series, I mean, good Lord, that put them on the map. You just never know what the consumer will. If you were going to design a model, well, there's another question of the day. If you want one, you know, I think we've talked about this before. If I made you head of a model company, what would you build a model of? But here's the thing, I'm going to put a caveat on this one. With me, I've always said it's a 1/48 scale series of general aviation airplanes. But I know going into that, that's not a huge market. That's a vanity project. What about if this is a company with stockholders and you're the president? And they go, okay, you have to suggest something that's going to sell at least 1 million units. Today, my first inclination, if it was a figurine, you could get the rights, and no doubt it would be Baby Yoda, Grogu, because that thing, you couldn't print enough of those. I bet nobody makes a model of that figure of it because nobody can. I only imagine what the cost on that would be. So yeah, popular Star Wars figure, BB-8. But the problem you have there, I mean, model builders might get one, but you're really competing with all of the Star Wars like products you can buy that are already done and finished. I'd love to see how they make those things. I've seen how the model trains are made, and I didn't realize they just shoved them into brass molds. It's pretty impressive. But I know I've talked about it before. You see them stick that train, you know, the thing's been painted one color, they stick it in there, and it literally is just a friction fit stencil. Basically, it looks like a mold with slits cut up. And they're not delicate about it. They blast that thing, and it comes out, and everything's perfect. And you see just tables of them lined up, so you realize people are buying these things, and in pretty respectable numbers. But you just look at that mold they stick it, or that mold stencil they stick it in, and you're just like, my God, I can only imagine how much they paid just for that one mold, for that one livery, or that one stencil for that one livery. Oh, I'm sorry, I kind of forgot to finish my earlier thought. There's a shock. The reason I bring up the problem with computer problems is you guys, well, you probably saw last night if you saw the show, I try to put up images and stencils images and pictures to go with what I'm talking about, add a little flourish to the program. But until I get these computer issues worked out, unless it's something really important, it's just going to be me chatting. The stationary slides, a few of them usually sometimes aren't too much trouble, but I'm pretty sure it's a memory problem because when the videos are over 4 or 5 minutes long, that's when the computer really bogs down because it's trying to handle that video. And if I try to do 2 pieces of video at once, like I did on some of those opening practice slides for last night, God, that thing just slows to a crawl. I'll probably be less effects and less pictures and just more what's going on. At least until I can get this memory allocation issue figured out, and that's pretty much it. So, would like to finish the Peggy today, and get starting on the Polera, and maybe finish off those 2 little Sandlot kits that John gave me. And other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. Gonna shoot out a few thank you emails to a few folks who sent a few things. Thank you for the cards and stuff. I do appreciate it. And the kits and the calendars and the books and the shirts. You guys are wonderful. I have to switch from model mode to go fly the airplane mode. And at least this is a trip in the Caribbean. Oh. Listen to me whine. It's only 40 degrees in Florida. I want to go to the Caribbean. Wah, wah, wah. I should volunteer for a trip in the dead of winter up into the most northern, coldest place we got, just so I can quit whining. Even I'm starting to annoy myself. I mean, I'm starting to annoy even, you know what I mean. Oh no. Oh no. The last drop is gone. Well, that means it's time to quit goofing off and get to work. Guys, model on.